Recently in sports, there's been as much action off the field as there has been on the field. Whether it be with the NBA lockout or the NFL lockout, there's been some very heated debates among players and their owners. One topic in particular that has been very heavily debated and ongoing deals with the NFL players' safety. Lately, these NFL players have been plagued with very serious head injuries. Some players and staff feel that the need for change in the game is unnecessary because that's the way the game has been played for many years, while other players and staff members believe that the game is in a very serious need for change because they need to protect the players more. We can all agree that the majority of people watch the NFL because they want to see its aggressive nature on the field, but to what extent do we allow these players to put their bodies at risk for our entertainment? People want to see big hits, but they also want to see people be able to walk away from these hits after the game without any long-lasting effects or long-term effects for their health. For this to happen, there is a definite need for change in the rules. Every time these players step on the field, they put their bodies at risk, and the NFL's job is to help minimize these risks. Walker states in one of his articles that 445 concussions were suffered in a 4-year span. This is outrageous. This amount of concussions to occur in this shorter period of time is totally unacceptable. The NFL has recently made a few new regulations that help eliminate helmet-to-helmet contact between two opposing players intentionally, but isn't enough. The penalty for this is usually just a fine, and honestly, most players in the NFL, with all the money they have, this isn't one of their primary concerns. So is this really affecting how players approach the game? Also, Farber reports in one of his articles that repeated concussions can lead to permanent brain dysfunction. This is a very frightening statement when you take into consideration how many players suffer multiple concussions in a year. So how does the NFL worry so much about their players' salary, yet so little about people who make the money and their players' safety? In short term, a player who suffers a concussion may miss a game or two and have a tough time remembering what happened during that particular game, but long-term effects of a player who suffers a concussion can have side effects that can be devastating. For instance, former Pittsburgh Steeler Mike Webster was diagnosed in 1988 with brain damage caused by multiple head injuries. He is just one of many people who have suffered concussions and went on to have serious problems. NFL also needs strong rules on how soon a player can return after suffering a concussion. They need more in-depth assessments before allowing the players to return to the field and play. In most cases, star players are going to do their best to get back into the game, start playing again to help their team win, whether they're 100% or not. And this principle of the game is often accepted widely throughout all levels of the game, including like high school and professional. Some of the greatest danger after suffering concussion is immediately following. Major brain trauma can easily be suffered during this time. For instance, a young player who has suffered a concussion told his teammates not to tell his coach about how woozy he felt after he had suffered a big hit. Just 2 weeks later, he played in a game, and after another big hit, he got up disoriented and collapsed. Sadly, 5 days later, he died in a hospital. This is a very tragic accident that could happen in the NFL very easily if the current style of play continues. This just goes to show how serious the side effects of concussion can be and how badly the rules of the game need to be changed to help avoid these type of accidents. I'm pretty positive that if the NFL is capable of showing their sporting event, televising it to millions of people across the world, that they're surely smart enough to be able to make a few new rules that help protect their players' safety.